Hi everyone, this is Van Savage here. Welcome to my website. I want to make this video because there's a lot of people that ask, is the travel, is the actual product with Global Resorts Network, is it for real? I mean, do you really get some benefit out of it? And so this is what this whole video is about, to show you that yes, it is for real. The product is really, really hot. And I want to just demonstrate some of the value, some of the savings you can get from being a member with Global Resorts Network. Now, by purchasing a membership, you get access to a travel company that's been around for 26 years. And it's this company's website that gives you the ability to be in charge of picking your vacations. And you do it at 1 week at a time, so 7 nights stays. You do have the ability to pick like short stays if you'd like, but the main product is around 7-night stays. And so it's these 60 to 85% savings off 7 nights. And so when you log in here, I've logged into our exclusive back office here as members of the travel club, and this is what I'm presented with. So from this website here, I can choose basically where I want to go using the map here, which I will demonstrate in this video. Or we also have some other options to the left here. They have Hot Week, which are specific weeks through the year with specific resorts throughout the world, and they're even discounted even deeper than they normally are, like $298. And then you have specials. They'll offer specials for specific 7-night stays throughout the year. But the search is the main area where you can choose exactly the time and location you want to travel. So let's just pick, we have the whole map here to choose from. Let's pick a common destination here, Hawaii. So from Hawaii, we select this, and obviously we're presented with the islands of Hawaii. We have the main island, you have Maui, Molokai, Oahu, and Kauai. So I'm just going to pick Kauai, and this is what my options are for this specific island. I have some prime weeks, which are very specific weeks throughout the year that are a little bit more discounted. And then I have my registry of resorts, which is where I can choose, my time and where I want to go. So I pick the registry of resorts. I'm presented with these options for the island of Kauai. And I have these 8 different resorts to choose from. And most of these are 4- and 5-star resorts. We do have some 3-star. If they are 3-star, they've gone through a very rigorous screening, so they're the best of the best in the 3-star community. But mainly we're picking from 4- and 5-star resorts. Let's pick this top one here. I'm not going to try to pronounce that, I'll butcher it. But I know it's a bed and breakfast here on the island of Kauai. And this gives you a little bit of description. You get some pictures that they have loaded of the specific resort, some information about the resort, and then down below here we see some additional information, and using the pictures here we can change as far as entertainment facilities. See that there's a golf course located on this resort, some features nearby, what's nearby the resort here, and then some extra room. So we see with this one, with the room information, they actually have some very specific rooms that you can choose. They have the Royal Penthouse Suite, a honeymoon suite, bamboo room, golf course room, the Bali High room. This resort is actually located next to Bali High, that mountain that was featured in South Pacific, the movie from Rodgers and Hammerstein back from, I believe it was the late 50s or early 60s. So that's what attracts a lot of people to this specific resort. I'm going to focus in on the Royal room. So if we go back a screen, when we were presented with the list of resorts, we see our resort we chose, we see where it's located, and then we see the price. And this is the price for that room. It's $6.99 for the entire week. Now, that's not per person, that's for the entire week. And if you have bigger rooms, like 1 bedrooms, 2 bedrooms, 3 bedrooms, you'll see them listed out here. So for $699, a studio generally fits 2 people. You can spend an entire week in this resort for just paying $699, and that's it for 7 nights and 8 days. If we price this out and see what Expedia or some of the other places like Priceline and them were giving us, I went to the TripAdvisor website, Travel Advisor, there, And from here you can specify this particular site. You search it in Google, you can get to the name already filled in here, and then you pick your dates. And I picked for the first full week of May. I said there's 2 guests, and then show me comparisons from Expedia, Orbitz, Hotels.com, Travelocity, and Priceline. And you click check rates, and you get a bunch of pop-up windows for those specific sites. So if I go through those windows here, we have one for Hotels.com. And Hotels.com, this is the average rating. It's 100%. So they're getting their top rating. Anyone who's stayed here through Hotels.com, it rates this at a 5. But unfortunately, Hotels.com was not able to find us any dates, any room availability for that specific dates. So they were a bust. So the fact that we're able to find something that normal online searching sometimes doesn't even give us access to is one advantage of our membership right there. Let's check Priceline. Priceline gave us, they found some location, some room availability, and we're going to pick, the Royal, because that's the suite I picked back at my Crown Resort was the Royal room. They're averaging at $300 per night. So for that room, it's going to cost us $2,348 for 7 nights. Remember, our price was what was it? Our price, if we go back, I believe, was $699. So we beat Priceline's best price. What about Orbitz? Let's see what they gave us. So I might close my pop-up window here for Priceline. Orbitz also picking the same room. If we look down, they gave us a bunch of different room availabilities, and we wanted the Royal room, which is right here. Same, so we're matching room, same nights. They were a little better. They were $2,100 total. They averaged out about $300 a night. So once again, $2,100 for Orbitz, $699 for Global Resorts. All right, let's check out Travelocity here. Travelocity, picking the same room again, they were $300 a night, but with taxes, they bumped up to $2,339 for the entire trip for all 7 nights. And then our last one, I believe, here is Expedia. Expedia, same resort here. We got the location. We're looking at the Royal room, so the same room. And they got us in at $2,100. So they're about the same as who was it, Orbitz there? $2,100. Still, so the cheapest we found was $2,100. And then it was as high as $2,300 versus our 7-night stay of $699. So right there you can see we're talking about a 5-star type of resort here in Kauai when we wanted to pick it. So the dates, the exact dates we wanted to travel, not being forced into travel at some other time. Here's some pictures of what the room looks like in here, and some different pictures of the resort, and we're going to get all of this for $699. It really makes a difference when you're trying to travel with just your spouse or a family. You now have the ability to do that. I wanted to show one. They had a couple pictures here. One of that mountain that they show. I believe it's this first. It might be the second one, just to show. Here's the golf course out of 1-year windows. So that's just one example of the many resorts. I mean, we have over 5,000 resorts worldwide that we have access to, and that number is growing. And you get the flexibility of picking and really choosing when and where you want to travel. And like I said, you're going to be able to see savings of anywhere from 60 to up to 85% on what you normally get. Thanks, and I hope to be talking to you soon.